And alrighty, folky dokes, we are back live once again, and we're continuing along with our playthrough of No Man's Sky. So, hey there, hi there, ho there, doers and dudettes, welcome back, and a fine welcome to you if you're new to the broadcast. We're happy to have you along for the ride. Where that ride currently sees us is chilling out at Chateau Epstein. We had to come on down here, make a policy decision, which yielded some decent results. We got 5% more happiness for our citizens, and as we hit up the old device here, come to find out, we are an A-class settlement now. Holy. What that actually means as far as production and all that kind of stuff, we're going to have to wait a little bit to find out. But I assume it's going to increase the yield of goodies that we get when things are productive again. But as we can see, we got 44 minutes before that pops back up and we get to see. But yeah, nice little increase. We'll take it. We started off as a C-class settlement, so it's nice to see things are moving along. Be nice if we get some more citizens, but I'm not holding my breath on that. As I said in the last stream, we've been going for about a week with the settlement, and the highest we got was 32. Foolishly, I sent them out on an expedition that killed off 2 of them. So we learned very quickly, don't do that. It's just not worth it. But Sentinel alert level is still very, very low, so I don't think we're going to have to fly on back here anytime soon. It'll be like another 2 hours before any more activity. Hey, what the fuck was that? Before any more activity takes place. Y'all are glitching. Hide and seek? I guess. I don't know. Anywho, that's going to do it for here at the settlement. We already gathered up our nanites that we had going on the blade. So, productive there. I think we're now at just 175,000. Look at that. Those are going to chill there for a while. We don't really have anything we need to upgrade. All our multi-tools, I think, are S-class. Same with the ships that we're keeping. Let's see. I don't think we need to go back to the blade. None of our expeditions have returned, so we're gonna go here and fire up the They Who Returned mission and get going on that. I speculate once we get that mission completed, we might be able to create a staff. I don't know if that's the case, and I haven't looked it up to find out. I like to be pleasantly surprised. And speaking of, can't recall if we hit up the Guild Envoy over here. Check in with them, see if we get some freebies. Pretty sure we did before we went back for the settlement. No, hey, look, we got a free cargo bulkhead. And type car. Grab that. So that works. Next time we hit up the freighter, probably add a couple more inventory slots that can go into the stash ship. And we don't desperately need to swing by to sell this stuff off just yet, so... Next order of business. Let's trying to set up the YouTube. And I'm still trying to set up YouTube. There you go. What if Jamie or any of the other regulars pop on by and decide to throw us a comment, we'll be able to see what they say. You got a storage. Oh, we're already working on that one. We got plenty of defense shits. One or the other, whatever you want to call them. I think we got 3. I never use them. They're just there to have on hand. We don't need neural duct. Don't need mineral compressor. I don't think we need any of these ships, so we'll just hop on its side islands. That's a nifty looking explorer up there in the front, though. Fleet frequency. Captain Entity, the crew are in a dire situation. An expeditionary team was deployed to planet Kiev. They excavated a dig site and found several jars of black water. For reasons unknown, they proceeded to drink the water. On return to the ship, they began to rant and rave. We have confined them to the medical bay, but I'm sure what to do. Keep them quarantined. Vent them into space. We'll keep them quarantined and hope they don't break out and kill you. I tell the fleet commander to keep the affected crew in isolation and to do everything in their power to treat them. If kept stable, they may recover. That's a first. I've never had that happen before. Well, I didn't just doom them. Feel right kicking them out in the cosmos. Activated copper, we get more than enough of that. What else do we get before we head off? Copper, ammonia, magnetized ferrite. That's a distance. I'll leave the freighter there. Let's go into the log. And let's see. Remote coordinates obtained. Reach the remote location. To investigate galaxy map. Alright. Oh, we got another dissonant planet. It's big stuff. We'll find a nice ship. I wasn't going to go out of my way, but since it's on the way, might as well. And earlier on, every dissonant planet I went to, I would set up a base computer. I figure if I come across ships I like, I'll just park the freighter outside of it. That way, we can just easily access it at our leisure. Having to go through the whole hassle of setting up a battery, a panel, and all that kind of gobbledygook. Which one is it gonna be? Process of elimination, probably this one. No? There we go, there's our winner. Head on down, get a bird's eye view, see what we're looking at. Get some gamma root, we got plenty of that on the freighter. Scan, see if we can come across a harmonic camp. Not appear to be the case. We got a resonator right there. We just had one back here. Park right in between. We should be able to get both of these. Alright, let's see if this is gonna reach. It should. Ah, that was stupid. Where'd the other one go? Wasn't that far away? Ah, there it is. Of course, we get all this in the way. Alright, we got a locator. Hell yeah. So once we get the swarm off our back, I'll do a search. Went right into the ship. Awesome sauce.
Navigational data received.
Consider using a carrier AI, but since we got another locator. Take advantage of it. And how far are we looking? It's not too far away. Again, as I like to point out, usually I'll just hover pretty close to the ground if I come across an area where there's a couple of those nearby. Just pop them out. What do we have here? Would you? A sentinel shot? I don't think we need to swing by there. There's no blueprints we don't already have. Yeah, instead of trying to wander around on foot, it's just easier to find those by sky. But if you're farming for radiant charge, yeah, just pretty much just plop down and just wander about there. Usually not all that far apart from each other. Looks like a merchant over there. We don't need to swing by. Oh, look at that. Looks like a pistol. We've been lucking out. We've been getting tainted metal. Pretty much every camp we've gone to. Last couple of goes. And even more tainted metal. Sweet. Where are we at with that? Ah, we need 50 more. I want to get the goofy mask, the scrap dealer sells. We need 3,200 for that. We don't need this. That we can send to the freighter. And we'll keep the mirrors for now. You're annoying me, buddy. I think I might want to just drop you. Plasma launcher. Ah, shit. Probably shouldn't have done that. Sometimes he drops an echolocator too. Alright, speak it up. We got an echolocator. Just run away. Hopefully not get detected. Alright, so that was worth it. We're close enough to the ship that it went in there. Well, let's take a look. Yeah. Alright, back to business. We got 14, 3, and 9. Check the multi-tool. Again, if it's an S class, I'll take it just to go scrap it when we go back to the the Monopoly, the Anomaly. And it's a B class, so I can just stay right there. Otherwise, I do like to keep the slot open.
Radiation protection. Units received.
Alright, you just peeked your head up, come on. Probably not going to waste our time getting the phone. If they're readily available, we get about 400,000 units each, so it's worth it to scan them. As I always say, if it involves underground, I usually don't go for the full nanite bonus. Because it usually seems to take quite a while for the underground ones to show up. What the hell are you talking about? But early on, if you haven't gotten a mold farm going, it's usually best to try to get all the fauna scanned and get a decent amount of nanites for your efforts. Later on in the game, there's other easier means of coming across nanites. And finding yourself a nice curious deposit set a camp up nearby it, where you can just teleport on in anytime you feel like getting some stacks going. I feel about this one, not digging the one thruster on it. Color sucks. Not the worst looking sentinel ship I've come across, but definitely does not appear to be a keeper. So let's hit you up. And throw that in. Ah, I thought I saw the top of a crashed freighter. Oh, it's a C class, that's near. Whatevers. Since these are right here, I might as well grab them. Again, you can activate that on the ground or in your ship. I tend to do it on the ship because it saves you the whole hassle of popping out into space, doing that whole nonsense. Saves you some time. Oh, what do we have here? Good for a few different types of resources. Sometimes gas, sometimes lemium, gold, uranium, all depends. We get magna gold, sulfurine, gold, sulfurine, and platinum. Alright, time to piss off the natives. Not going to take on the whole waves. Would you pick that up, please? In case we get another echolocator. Don't think that was the case. Let's try to get over the hill before this weighs down. Getting detected, we don't have to screw with them any longer. Anything else I wouldn't have stopped to bother with, but trying to give you free resources is always a good choice if you have the option. Where are we heading? That's where we came from. Where's the, there it is.
Incoming storm.
Oh, goody. Hopefully we can get in and out of here. What the hell was that we just hovered over? Ah, it's a resonator. Just one, I'm not going to bother with it. I think I saw our content creator say that you can blast those with your, from your ship. I tried to do it and I just wound up being a huge hassle. I can't say for a certainty whether you can or you can't. I usually just land on the ground, blast it with the javelin, throw on the cloaking device. Speaking of, we got another one over there. We'll go grab that real quick. Because we don't have to go too far out of our way. And another echolocator. Fuck yeah. That's why we do that. So we used one, and I think we got 3 total. So definitely made some progress with those.
Technology prepared.
There we go. Claim you up. I think we have room for one more ship before we need to go and sell them. But if we find ourselves on a space station, I'm gonna unload them and just open up the slots. But we don't need to call on the freighter because we're not gonna be coming back to that planet for more. What the hell is going on here? Is that like the sun, or is that like a planet inside of a planet? Never seen that before. Anyhow, back to what we were trying to do. There we go. And another dissonant planet. Good lord. Ah, maybe we're finally going to do the autophage mission. That'd be cool. Oh shit.
Hostile ships approaching.
What the fuck? Is this the dreadnought, or am I supposed to attack this one? What the fuck am I doing here? Alright, we got pirates. I was confused as shit for a second there. Like, why is the freighter attacking that? Shout ahead. Thanks for the assist. He was already blowing up there, buddy. Oh, we got one over here. Oh, this is gonna be difficult. I want to shoot the other freighters. Pull away from them, that might make things a little bit easier. Well, that's a cool looking solo. Alright, 5 more to go. I'm sure he's out of range. Thanks for playing. He went down easy. Alright. Time to get our reward. Delightful. Who must be the captain of the frigate looks greatly relieved. Sure he does.
Alert. Navigational data received.
Kinda want to see if that solar ship lands. I might buy it. Yeah, let's see. You got an E-class freighter. We don't want nothing to do with that. It's not a guarantee he's gonna pull in here, but it would be cool. Just want to get a close-up look at it. I don't want to be out there dicking around with the captain when it pulls in and pulls it up. No, that is a shuttle, right? Something's pulling in. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get lucky with that. That sucks, man. I wanted to fucking see that thing. Anyhow. Get with the goods, buddy. Couple of ships pulled in. It's ours. I guess it was just the other ones leaving. That is some lucky. I'm really hoping to get a look at that ship. I'll give it another second, though. Actually, that gives me a chance to look at what we got for ships right now. So, one that we got, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so we got room for 2 more. And give it another 5 seconds. Yeah, I don't think it's landed. Alright, whatever. I've seen them with yellow, blue, red, and then the green one that we picked up. Never seen them with purple solar wings. They weren't your typical half circles. I wanted to scope it out. Oh well. Next order of business. We should swing by the space station. Let's see what freebies we can pick up from the guild. Since we are here, we might as well get rid of the ships we're gonna sell. You're getting sold. Just keep our ears pinged for getting the pulls in. That's butt ugly. What's next? I think that's our solar ship that we have. That's the other. If you look inside, no ship we picked up. Unload that. Oof. That's a letdown. And again, it's also a C class. I didn't expect to get much from it. What do you have for missions? Ooh, deliver an item for a salvage frigate module. We are gonna take that. Haunted chocolate dreams. Hunt dangerous pirates. And salt waste honey cake. So the food items I came to find out, I mean, you can eat them yourself, but if you have living frigates, when you're on your freighter, go into your fleet menu, you can feed food items to them and it'll increase their stats. I don't know what other benefits the food items have other than that. I haven't really looked into it. But, I think we can take on the pirates too, so I'll take on this mission. Just because I want to see what that's going to do. It looks like it's going to increase the stats pretty decently. You are a tiny fighter. We don't want the shredder, we want the Frankenbeans. So yeah, I'm giving up hope on finding that solar ship. That sucks. Doesn't mean that we won't come across one. And a free salvage frigate module.
Product received.
And you can sell that for Nanites. Not really concerned with that. We'll take the free ion batteries and the warp core. And you can never go wrong with oxygen.
Product received.
Thank you, sir. You gentleman and a scholar. Let's go through our inventory. We need to go to the freighter. Freighter, starship. Freighter. Starship. These we have an abundance already in storage. I don't think we really need any more, so might as well just sell them. Freighter. And I'm just going to throw this in here. Yeah, we can sell that. So everything we intend to sell, I like to try to keep topside here. We got it probably from the pirates we defeated. That can go to the freighter as well. Yeah, we can throw you on the stash ship. Might as well sell off these upgrade modules. Suspicious scanner module we could probably utilize in one of our multi-tools. Same with that. Don't need you. Don't need an A-class. concerned with the A-class ones. Here we go. Alright, and since we were considering that, let's break out our multi-tools. I'm not really concerned with where they go right now. Tweak around with that a little later on. Where'd the other one go? Ah, there it is. Oh! Are you the solar ship that we were looking for? Find out in a second. Nah, son of a bitch. So like I said, it had purples. They kind of look like starbursts. That is a shame. You suck. You got my hopes up. Alright, we need to switch our multi-tool. And I don't think there's anything else we desperately need to do here. Well, we could have sold that. Whatever, next time. These can go on the starship. So what I tend to do is when I break down the ships, I'll hang on to the AI valves, and then I'll wait till I come across a terminal where I'll get a decent profit boost off of them and just sell them all at once. I think the last time I had like 200 million worth, I wound up getting like 220. Other than that, all like the spool of nano cables and the incidental stuff. Captain Entity, I'm forced to report an emergency. You again? High intense. Oh, at least you didn't have to boot the guys that drink the black water into the abyss. A high-intensity gamma burst has overwhelmed the fleet's protective fields while surveying the Misakiti system. Core components are overheating. We will not be able to contain them much longer. We must shut down the vital systems while we recover. But each poses unacceptable risks. What should we do? I'ma say shut down electrical systems. I tell the fleet commander to immediately shut down the core electrical dome. It may be an uncomfortable experience, but it should allow temperatures to recover to acceptable levels. Should. Hopefully. Alright, we need to go blast a pirate to Kingdom Come. And then I think we need to head to this planet. Oh shit! Wasn't expecting that. Well, you're on my team. Alright, we're gonna have a couple of waves of these guys. Hold up. Thanks for making it easy. Or not. One more wave. Easy right there. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Get out of the way. Yay! Get a salvage frigate module when we go back to base. Alright, so next order of business. I don't know if there's anything we can do with that. Yes, I know. Return to... Dude, we don't have to do that just yet. Oh yeah, we gotta deliver a package too, don't we? Ah. Where's that going? Into another system, so that's gonna wait. Next up. Is that on this planet? No. Alright, so since we're right here, let's go see what we got for a Sentinel ship. And I don't feel like going to a harmonic camp, so we're going to utilize this bad boy. Dissonant spike detected. Of course you're going to be a ways away. That looks kind of cool. Different helm in the front there. Mostly black. Yeah, this thing's a little unique looking. I don't think we've seen a style like this before. But it's a C-class, so don't match. What we're gonna do, get a look at it from the top side. See, I don't really like this kind of setup, the above. It's got a little bit of blue to it. Well, it's just an accent, not much. Alright, but I think when we fly back out into orbit, I'm going to call in the freighter. Later on, we'll come back and see if we can find a higher class one. Next up, make sure we hit up this thing. Striking out on the items with these, that kind of sucks. I had a nice little haul when I was out farming the resonance spikes. I came across like 5 of them all in one little encampment. 3 of them had 10 walker brains, 1 had 10 salvage blasts, another had 10 quad servos. Definitely worthwhile. Stop and have a look. What do we got here? Just one, right? Yeah, we got plenty of echolocators right now. We don't need to gather up more. Next order of business. Whatever Sentinel ship you come across in these planets, all the ones that you're going to find are going to be of that style. The class quality will fluctuate. But if you also find these, and you get a distress signal, you can also find regular ships. Again, whichever one that you find, any other distress signal that you come across would be the exact same ship. I won't go out of my way to use the artifact devices, but if I see these in my travels, I'll usually stop and hit it up. 4328. Yeah, it's going backwards, so it would be 4328. Yeah. Now, as we saw in the last one, it brought us to a crashed freighter. Sometimes it'll be a ship you can claim as your own, and sometimes it'll be a ship with a pilot. But as you can see in the bottom right corner, it's a ship that we can claim as our own. So always be sure to check that as soon as it does the whole zoom in, zoom out thing. First order of business, we'll go hit up the monolith, get the brain ready, fit that, and then we'll go gather up this ship. So I got a feeling that's going to be a little ways off. Brain. And we're good to go. Oh, we don't need that. Try to be as quick as we can with this. Like I said, I do want to get to the mission. But I have a nasty habit of just getting distracted. I see many squirrels in my travels. Let's see. Land. And another thing is worthwhile to look at, see what they have for items. Even if you're going to scrap the ship, sometimes you can pull off some S-Class modules, maybe a weapon or two. Higher class ones sometimes have economy scanners and those kind of upgrades. Pluck them out, put them into other ships if you so desire. Claim that, right? Yeah. And again, another thing that I like to do, if I know I'm going to be selling a ship, to make it easier to spot when I do get to the space station, just rename it to sell. For some reason it puts it into caps lock. Don't know why it does that, but it do. Alright, so next order of business, we got this distress signal to scope out. And then I swear we will get back to the mission at hand. one thing you can do if you come across or go about the harmonic camp route, and you know you're going to want to come back for more ships, you can set down a save beacon or even a base computer right outside the harmonic camp. You can easily just come back, do a spike search. If you so decide. This thing looks like it's frozen in friggin' cabinet. There it is. Luminous Prospector. And it is a C-class. I mean, I could break it down and take the wing. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll take it. There's two different ways you can go about this. You can either repair these items, since we have plenty of components on us, you're gonna do that. But if you don't want to waste the parts and you know you're just gonna be scrapping it for customization, basically just go to any base that you've set up, teleport there. You'll be able to call it in without having to do any upgrades to it. Once you've done that, you can go to a space station and you'll be able to call it in. Otherwise, it's going to tell you the thrusters don't work. That is a nice nifty little exploit you can utilize if you're low on components, craftable items and such. Where you just want to be stingy and not waste the resources. Alright, so I imagine this is going to be the get out and look around situation. Which is unfortunate because it's an extreme storm right now. Another little helpful hint, if you're early on, you need to get some units on the quick. You find yourself on a planet such as this. Full stack of these will get you 2 million change. They're also good for upgrades, I think for warp fuel. That and an antimatter will make you a the warp cell, the better version. Yeah, the warp hyper core. One antimatter, one storm crystal. So, the smaller ones, I think it's 4 to fill up your hyperdrive. Whereas the one I was just explaining, you only need 1 to fill it up, basically from 0%. So they have their uses, but early on, definitely great for getting your unit count up. Hurry up and clear up. I need to see if I need to use the ion battery.
Technology recharge.
Nope, we don't need a battery. We're good. And we're not too far off from where we're going. Well, it works better when you go in the right direction. So. Good God. What the hell is this thing? Probably this harmonic spike over here. Looks like it's a harmonic camp. That's cool. We saved ourselves an echolocator. That's what's else. Ah, it is the autophage mission. Hell yeah. Sweet. actually start being able to use the void modes. I believe, I don't know for certainty. Pretty sure this is what we needed to be able to access those. Oh, we're getting nothing but junk. There we go. Alright, junk this. Junk that. This is going to the freighter. Let's get junked. This I'm just going to throw into the refiner. What else we got? That's going to go in the refiner. Probably throw this in too. I'll move it down here just for the time being. No, I said I was going to sell those, but whatever. Doop 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 doop. Alright, so without further ado, might as well. Actually, let me interact with this thing in case I have to do something with that. Hello, sir. Translation? The auditor's page speaks in the same mechanical voice that accompanied the hijack attempt upon my ship. However, if the sounds it makes are words, language, I do not understand what is being said. Poke the head, scan the head, speak to the head. Yeah, I kind of want to poke the head. I don't think he'd like that. Oh, yep, no, he's pissed off now. I am certain the autophage is trying to communicate something. Touch the head. I skim my fingers over the surface of the head, and there is some manner of runic interface here, but with no clue to what input it requires. Offer Nanites. Offer Punchium. We're gonna offer him Atlantium. Antebellum. A sparking sound, like electrical wires short-circuiting, echoes somewhere within the head. Suddenly, my exosuit reports receipt of a set of local coordinates. I do not trust this head, but these coordinates seem my only clue toward understanding what it is trying to communicate.
Alert. Navigational data received.
Thanks, exosuit. But now we're gonna get ourselves another, dissonance spike. We're already here, might as well take advantage. 6, 12, and 1. The first one's first. 6, 12, 1, 12. Sweet bejesus. Just had a storm. And C-Class. No thank you. Alright. Our ship is all the way over there. I'm just gonna call it in. So we got a ways to go to get to that. No ways to go to get to that. We already know what the ship's gonna be, so let's keep going with the mission here. So I got a feeling we're gonna have to bounce around to a bunch of robot bodies here. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Before we unlock this. Thank you, sir. This is one of the exotic classes. Usually had this thing just show up in a space station. It can put us back about 23, maybe 30 mil.
Thermal protection fully.
Yeah, I think if you hang out in 3-star economies, they'll occasionally show up. I haven't really seen much. There was this one and another one I had, but I haven't seen any since. So I don't know what the frequency is of them generating into the game, but it is definitely the best of my little fleet I got going. It maneuvers like a champ, and its slots are pretty decent.
Thermal protection fully.
We got 3 super chat slots right next to each other, so my photon cannon absolutely shreds any ships that I wind up taking on in dogfights. Oh, this is new. The extracted coordinates led quite precisely to this hidden plinth, though it is clearly not the primary interface for the ancient structure. Ancient glyphs are carved around the circumference of the stone dais. Opening yawns expectantly in the center. I'm going to assume they want the same. The Atlantean crackles and bursts. A dormant energy rumbles from within the surface. You mean a freighter? Yeah, I get a freighter. Hang on a second, I gotta get my HAZ protection up. I don't have the one that looks like the Star Trek one. I got a regular one. It kind of looks like a knife blade. It does the job. This structure was unmistakably constructed by Korvax as a monument to their people, yet I have no sense of being observed by Korvax echoes. It is as though the monolith has inverted, its insides turned outwards. Something else is here, another type of entity. Oh goody, words we don't understand yet. My mind folds. The molecules of this planet disassemble into a cloud of chaos that reconstruct themselves into new surroundings. I am thrust into a perspective that is not my own. When in doubt, look ahead. I gaze into the distance ahead, as though peering through time itself. The vision transforms. In the vacuum of deep space, something rattles into existence, manifesting matter where there was none before. Purple light is blinding. She is glorious. She is reborn. She is not alone. I fall to my knees, humbled, gratified, awed. You have learned a set of worlds, blah blah blah. The images fade. I am suspended in darkness. Look behind. I gaze into the distance behind me. Reality tilts and the vision shifts. I am grounded in my body, aware of the breeze on my cheeks and the soil beneath my toes. My mind is healthy and ambitious and strong, organizing theories and solving problems with ease and pleasure. Suddenly, unexpectedly, I am shredded from my shell. My mind is in tatters. What little is left of me shivers in a dark, rusty nowhere, as some other entity, fat and whole, claims the body that was mine. The pain is terrible. Any words about auto fade past? The images fade. I am suspended in darkness. Stay in the present. Trying to focus on my surroundings. Reality lurches, and a vision takes shape. I am a fragment of consciousness, raw and incomplete and alone. Yet unafraid. I am finally free. unshackled from a tyrannical rule that has confined me all my existence. Crawl through the dark, sensing others shaped like myself. We link ourselves together, like a human centipede, just enough to become whole. We form an alliance, but not a convergence. Reality is restored. I return to my own body, my own mind. The structure offers me a final packet of data, a listing of glyphs, enumerated in the language of this inverted monolith. This is the same language spoken by the head at the abandoned camp. Perhaps I am now better equipped to understand it. You learn the autophage word. They did not give me time to read that. I have no idea what it said. Converse with the autophage head, so we gotta go back to the camp. But yeah, early on, if you're downloading the game, this is ways into the story. But planets such as these will be a life maker for you, because you can harvest these little items here. There's also like little kind of like satellite tower looking things in the ground. You blast those with your weapon. They'll give you what's called inverted mirrors, and you can go around and find sentinel ships that are dominantly on these types of planets. That if you're trying to build up your fleet, it's always a good way to go about getting new starships. But if you're looking for units, they usually sell anywhere between 20 to 50 million, depending on the class. But these are definitely some of the best planets that you can farm resources and stuff to get units, ships, and nanites, which are another form of currency. What you can do is once you get further on, you can take these, the radiant shards, or these, the mirrors, throw them, once you have this, the personal refiner. If you throw a stack of these in, it'll give you 500 nanites. These will give you 950. And that's the currency that you're going to want to use to upgrade the classes of your starships and your multi-tools. Which, these are your multi-tools, your weapons. The higher the class, the better off they're going to be, stat-wise. But same with like the upgrade modules that you're going to want to put into it. It's all confusing to start off with, but as things move along, you start to get a better understanding. But again, like, you'll have the ability once you leave the first planet you're on to build a base camp. So what I would suggest is, as soon as you do find what this is called a dissonant planet, set up a base here. That way you can easily just teleport to it whenever you want. Farm the resources. Yeah, these are some of the cooler looking planets. There's other ones where like the grass will light up, and like they'll have like these mushrooms during the night. They glow different colors. So I actually have a planet spotted out that I want to build a base on. It's pretty much kind of like this. Alright, so now with these things, what I do, your weapon, once you get it set up, you can have secondary devices on it. The one I'm using right now is a cloaking device. So when you attack these things, there's usually sentinels that fly around. They'll engage with you. So my strategy that I utilize, I have the Blaze Javelin, which is kind of like a sniper rifle. So you can take these down with 2 fully charged shots. So what I'll do, especially if there's 2 of them side by side, this is kind of a rarity. I'll hit the first one with 1 shot, then I'll blast this one out, and then take out the second one. Once they both explode, I'll throw on the cloaking device. Once that little timer up in the right hand corner runs out, they leave you alone. And you're good to go. But in order to get the sentinel ships, you're going to need what those things drop, which again are these little mirrors here. But oftentimes they'll also give you these. echolocators, which you hover over it. If you're on the PlayStation, you hit the square button, or hold the square button. I don't know what it is for Xbox or PC. But these will send you in the direction of the camp, which is where we're going to be heading right now. And this is one of the ways that you can find the Sentinel ships. Which I already just went through the process. But to better explain, when you come in, check these wheelbarrows. Yeah, usually always, no, not usually, they're always in the same spot, but they have random items that they'll drop, some of which are better than others. But you're going to want to come up to this here thing, access it. We already did it, so I can't go through the whole process. But there's going to be glyphs that you have to input. You go through that whole process, and then when you do this, locate distance spikes. That's going to show you where the nearest ship is that you can go claim for yourself. But in order to do that, you're going to need one of those mirrors, 3 of these, and then the ship itself will have a thing on it called the Highline Brain, which I don't think I have any on my person right now. But you need to get the brain out of the ship, activate it, and it'll show you a place to go to basically purify it. And once you do that, you go back to the ship, put it in, and it becomes you can make it your own. But like I said, this is a little ways further into the game, so you wouldn't be dealing with this stuff until much later on. Language, blah, 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 blah. Modules 1, 6, and 12. Alright, so glyph 1, 6, and 12. Glyph 6. Glyph 12. Translation mode defragmented. Hello, pre-built entity. Thank you for the assistance. I am Autophage W81Q. I am positioned here to interface with pre-built entities. How did you discover this camp? I'm on PlayStation. I still need to work on controls and building bases. Yeah, the controls will come to you in time. Like I said, a lot of the ships, they handle a lot differently than the others. This exotic one, I find, is the one that handles the best. The Sentinel ships are kind of sluggish, but they're usually pretty good for damage. But like scanning stuff, getting into battles and whatnot, it's got a little bit of a learning curve, but it's nothing that can't be overcome with like an hour or two of just plugging and playing. But the building, like camp building and stuff, that I really haven't even bothered. Like I said, I got a planet set aside when I want to dedicate some time to doing it. But I just know I'm going to wind up spending like a day or two. So I've been putting it off. But that's one of the beauty parts about the game. There's so many things that you can do that, like, if you want to do base building, you can just dedicate time to doing that. If you want to just go around finding different spaceships and shit, there's that. Stories there. It's up to you how you want to play the game. Like, it's not like you're like on a streamlined course that you have to do things a certain way. Alright, so let's see. How did you discover this camp? Confront about the hijack. Introduce yourself. Ask about pre-built entity. Now, I'm gonna confront his ass about trying to hijack my ship. Ah! I see. That was you. The head is silent a moment. When they speak again, they sound almost embarrassed, as they friggin' should. I apologize, pre-built entity. This was my own error. An accident. Ah, yeah, I like this story. There are starships out there who are more than metal shells. Alive, but not free. Enslaved to a hive mind. We intend only to liberate the imprisoned. We intend no harm upon independent pilots. Oh, I already know. I got like 12 of these things. Ask about pre-built entity. I really wish the screen would stop giving me a hand job here. It's very off-putting. You are biological. The growth of your shell was automated, I believe. You did not salvage your own limbs. Your tissue and your sinew grew in parallel with your mind. There are many like you. Most of the universe is pre-built, and Autophage W81Q stops abruptly, cutting themselves off mid-sentence. I can hear the cogitation, the turning of rusty gear against rusty gear. Fascinating. We do not frequently welcome visitors. It has been 3,984 years since our last. It's a long fucking time, dude. It is interesting to hear your introduction. I am an autophage. We are unlike other electronic life forms you may know. We do not possess the arrogance of the Korvax. Your kind is neither less nor more than mine. You simply are. Something intrigues me, pre-built entity. I made an error with your ship. I do not frequently make errors. Well, have you looked at the state of yourself? I probed for the 3 dominant life form patterns. There was no match. The starship appeared unpiloted. What manner of life form are you? Say you are a traveler. You are an anomaly. You are not sure. I am a traveler. Traveler, yes. I know this term. I am generating a theory. Tell me, pre-built traveler entity. You possess a starship. Therefore, this is not the first planet you have seen, correct? This isn't even the first galaxy I've seen. Where have you been, buddy? The starship traverses one side of the universe. Material, matter, physics. But my theory concerns the other side. The other method of travel. There is something I detected in your shell. An echo. A void? I theorize you must have existed there transitionally. You must have entered the portals. I have. Yes, this aligns. You carry in your shell, as we do. It is evident. Is this where, like, we do the whole we're not so different, you and I, fucking speech? Because that's pretty cliched. You were foretold, the disruptor. The word lingers in the air a moment before I can interject. Autophage W81Q continues. I extend a challenge, Disruptor. Let us test my theory. I will inform the other autophage of your coming. That sounds wrong. To perceive them, your scanner will require an extension. I will provide the schematic, but you must build it with your own hands. Consider this a ritual of introduction. New technology discover. Scan harmonizer. Multi-tool upgrade. We need a radiant shad, a microprocessor, and 100 runaway mold. Goody, we have all of that. So that's going to go in our multi-tool. Suppose we put it here.
Technology installed.
And now what the hell does that do? Scan harmonizer installed. Return to a harmonic camp to sweep for autophage. Didn't add anything to our scanner. Where are you? Scan your ass.
Units received.
Oh, we haven't scanned any of the animals, huh? The pale, we're not going to be able to scan those.
Units received.
Oh, there we go. Get it.
Units received.
Do I have to scan him? Alright, I am absolutely confused, huh? Let's target sweep. These are all hot spots. We don't need that. Oh, use all three to activate the scanner. Okay. As its detector waveform passes over the local area, it'll automatically reveal any nearby autophage entities. Here you go. Paste or read. Oh, Jesus. Where the hell did you just come from? What the fuck? Fucking terrifying. Our built construct, oh noob. Can you just give me the bird? What the fuck? Welcome, pre-built entity. Blue, you are the disruptor. Y'all keep calling me that, doesn't sound good. Ask about the harmonic camp. Something built this camp together. We all blah. A home constructed, blah blah. Own, blah blah. Bodies. Yeah, I can't really understand what you're saying there, Chief. The autophage language has a melodic quality to it. The tones are simple and pure, but with a gritty crunch not heard in Kovacs voices. Although my wow, the music just got very intense. Though my translation is imperfect, I grasp the gist of what they are telling me. This camp is autophage constructed, as are their bodies. Okay. Speak to another inhabitant of the harmonic camp. Cloaked autophage can be revealed with the scanner. Oh, we are gonna get the staffs. Fuck yeah. Come here, you. Did blah 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 your ship disruptor? Can only error. Nothing is our constructed home. Many like it. Do not assume seeing blah blah is to see. Alright. Are there others? Speak to a final inhabitant of the harmonic camp. I assume it's this guy right here. Disruptor, you are very welcome among us. The camp is one of many homes, many worlds. These dissonant worlds are something. Dream in a lattice of purple. The constructed life form offers me a handful of Atlantidium. They handle the substance delicately, reverently, as though it were a priceless heirloom. Yeah, joke's on you. I already got like a full stack. But no, gladly take more. Though these beings seem civil enough, I feel a gulf of understanding between them and myself. I should discuss my discovery with Priest Entity Nada. Perhaps these robotic people are known to them. Well, looks like we're going to the anomaly.
Incoming storm.
But first, let's go grab that ship. That's sweet. Him carrying that staff leads me to believe we're soon about to unlock those. Greeting from the Alvarez system, Captain Entity. I have unfortunate news. Oh, Jesus Christ. Several of the crew have taken ill after visiting planet blah, blah, blah. Fervorous and cramping. They appear to be in great pain. Feed them some Midol. They'll be fine. The crew report seeing creatures with these symptoms on the planet's surface, presumably the source of this outbreak. I've confined affected crew to the medical bay, but it appears highly contagious. What should we do? Capture infected creatures or sedate affected crew. I wouldn't even try to capture the infected creatures. I'd just blast the ever-living shit out of them. But I'm going to say sedate the affected crew. I tell Fleet Commander Vulia to keep the infected crew sedated and to lock down the medical bay. They must prevent the infection spreading at all costs. So I've never had so many troubles sending my frigates out on missions. Like they've never contacted me for nothing. And suddenly, like, all 3 missions that we sent out have all reported errors. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Hopefully we don't go losing any of our frigates. That would be a shame. They actually should be coming back, I think. It's about a 4-hour process for all of them. So I imagine probably within like the next half an hour or so they should all wrap up. Alright, so as I was confusedly trying to explain not too long ago, when you come to these planets, you'll be able to get yourself some Sentinel ships. Now, if you go about it the harmonic camp route, they'll point you in the direction. So you come here, interact with it. You'll always have one of these, some Pungium, and the Hyaline Brain. So just throw them into your exosuit. So once you're done with that, what I tend to like to do is I'll get back into my ship. You can do it from the ground if you so desire. I'm just trying to skip a small, not really like cutscene, but just an annoying thing that it does. It'll zoom out into space and then zoom back in. If you get in your ship, you can skip that. So what you do, you come into your inventory, hover over the Hyaline Brain, activate it. So it's now going to give you another mission marker. Tend to be a little bit confusing because it's going to be the same marker that's hovering over the ship here. But you head over to this one. Usually not too far away, anywhere between a couple of seconds to just under a minute. It all depends. Roll on over here. Eventually will end. And grab the knowledge stones if you so desire. They're not necessary. I like to grab them. We don't need to interact with that just yet. When you pop on up here, interact with this. It's going to have you present the brain to it. Once you do that, it goes from a Hyaline Brain to a harmonic brain. So now you have to go back to the ship, plug this, 3 radiant shads and an inverted mirror, and you've completed the process and now own yourself a nice new starship. Repeat the process a couple of times. I'm not sure exactly how many ships are on each planet. I've never done more than 3 at a time. But I think every 24 hours, real time, it replenishes the ships. So you can always just keep coming back for more. Because the classes aren't always the same. This one's a B class, but I've gotten anywhere from A class, S class occasionally. They're few and far between. Dominantly, it's going to be a C class or a B class. But as you can see, you need 3 radiant shads, an inverted mirror, and once you've gotten it to a harmonic brain, you feed all that in. Hit this little doohickey, and then you claim the ship. Now, as we can see, it is valued at 45.5 million. Not necessarily what you're gonna get if you scrap it, but usually pretty damn close. So again, early on, if your units are low and you want to quickly increase your currency, say, you could do a lot worse, but I would farm these planets, go around, get a couple of ships, bring them up to the space station, cash them in. Usually for like an hour or two's worth of work, you can walk away with 100 to 200 million worth of units, maybe a new ship if you want. And again, if it's an A class or an S class and you scrap it, you'll usually get a storage augmentation for your efforts as well. And these are basically when you go to the space stations, you can put a free slot either into your technology or the cargo, as opposed to spending units to buy them. So it's always good to keep an eye on those. They'll sneak them in there, like you'll have to actually look. It never really pops up and tells you that you got it. Like it'll tell you that like you got these items and stuff, but usually it doesn't really tell you about these. But yeah, definitely my suggestion early on, if you want to build up your surplus of units in your stash ships, definitely find yourself a dissonant planet and take full advantage. But I do believe our business is concluded here. What I do want to do is call in the freighter. Off stream, I'm going to come back and see if I can find a class or an S class of that ship. But I'm not going to keep going through it. It'd be boring for y'all to watch us do the same thing over and over again. So there's our freighter, aptly titled the Blade. If we back on out, you'll be able to see why we call it that. Slowly. Do this a little bit quicker. And that's because it looks like a knife blade. Ever so creative. We don't need to pop on there just yet. What we need to do now is call in the anomaly. So that was the next portion of the quest. My memory's a little bit fuzzy, but I think once you come off of the first planet that you start off on, you'll have access to this. So what you should do to make things vastly more easier for yourself when you're on your first planet and you get your scanner going, try to gather up as much buried technology as you can. Same with hitting up the dropped cart. Damaged little space engines. If you come across like little bunkers, they'll have things that you can interact with to get nanites. Spend some time doing all of that kind of stuff, so when you come up on here with the buried technology, you can interact with this machine here, buy yourself upgrades for building processes. This is where you're going to get the personal refiner for your exosuit. And the sooner you purchase that, the easier things are going to be for you. I'm just trying to find exactly where it's at. Not in there. Not in there. Was it in here? Actually, I think this is where you get the regular refiners for your base camps. Anywho, you're going to need a lot of the buried technology to unlock all of these. And if you're keen on wanting to do a lot of base building, this is how you're going to be able to unlock a lot of the modules and stuff that you could use. So I spent a good chunk of change just unlocking all of this stuff. That way when I do get around to base building, I'll have everything ready, good to go. This is your stash ship guy. He's not here looking for an exosuit. Alright, so this guy's going to take nanites, as are all the other guys that you can talk to here. There it is. Alright, so you'll have this unlocked automatically. I think HADS protection will be unlocked. Same with this. But all the other ones incidental. You can unlock them as you go, but you can also get them unlocked through random buildings that you come across in your travels. If you want to spare yourself spending the nanites, I would go that route. But if nanites aren't a thing to you, feel free to just purchase everything at your leisure. But you're definitely going to want to get the hazmat gauntlet and the personal refiners. Early on, I guess you can get by with this one. It's only got one slot, whereas this one has two. This one works a little bit quicker as opposed to that one, but again, the sooner you get that on you, the quicker you're going to be able to produce nanites as you're traveling around. Because like I said, you can take these items, full stack of these are going to be 950 nanites, these are going to be 500, but you just toss them on into your personal refiner. It runs off of carbon, so get yourself a good supply of that as well. Is there any other plants that you come across in your travels? There are other items that you can throw in there to produce nanites. We'll probably go over those. I already have in previous videos, but we can always do it again. But one of the items would be runaway mold. A full stack of those takes about 20 minutes, so it's kind of better off to do those in the camp refiners as opposed to your personal one. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk to Nada. Let's move this mission along. Nada is happy to see Traveler Friend again, but Traveler Friend looks full of news. Tell Nada about the autophage. I tell Nada of the Harmonic Camp. Not as abandoned as it first appeared. I tell them of its electronic inhabitants, these cloaked autophage, and the melodic language, so similar to Korvax, yet quite distinct. Nada is very quiet as they listen. When I finish speaking, they remain so quiet and so still that I wonder if they have forgotten I am standing here. They are difficult to read sometimes. Well, have you looked at his face? How the fuck do you read that? Finally, they speak. Nada wonders. Nada ting. They trail off, shaking their head. Oh, well, you're just full of information, buddy. No, Nada will not wander. Nada will understand. Our data is insufficient to know if this pattern is familiar. Yet, also, Nada thinks of older stories, before Nada's divergence. Nada cannot help it. They are just thoughts. We should try to understand builder entities. Nada does not know the optimal method. But Polo Friend is a builder too. It is time to ask them. Alright, buddy, I've been told to talk to you. Maybe you'll be more forthcoming. Traveler Friend, today is made better to see you aboard our home. Do you bring the universe with you? New stories, new discoveries. Paulo's eyes sparkle as I tell them about the autophage. They bounce on their toes, hanging on my every word. Friend, this is so exciting. The universe gives and gives. So many secrets, so much data. Ask how to learn more. Paulo smiles knowingly. Their enthusiasm is palpable and contagious. Deconstruction, reconstruction. I know what we can try. Oh yes, friend, a new project. I understand this galaxy best through the toil of my paws. Can you describe these autophage exactly? Transmit the blueprint of their shape. Paulo examines the data, nodding happily. Better than nodding off. I see them. They are marvelous. A head fashioned from here, a leg salvaged from there. Yes, yes. Whatever scraps they find. These self-constructs exist through pure will. I will assemble the shell for our own construct, friend. I will give them shape. Here, in our home, a voice, a link to understand better. But our new friend will need more than a shell. They will need a spark to wake their metal bones. Paulo clicks their beak, thinking. These autophage have some tie to the worlds of dissonance, no? I would mine there, friend. Search those purple crystals for history, for souls, for echo seeds, yes. Bring our construct, friend, their spark. Okay. Locate an echo seed. I guess we don't have to go talk to more people on the ship. Locate an echo seed. 01. In space, use the galaxy map to locate distant worlds. Well, why would we have to do that? We're right outside of one. Jesus. And again, another thing to keep in mind when you swing on by the anomaly. If you've done a lot of research, scanning, minerals, fauna, the sort, this guy right here you're going to want to talk to. He'll give you his whole spiel. We're not going to read all that. I'm tired of reading. But, yeah. Give data. Planets. You give him that, he gives you nanites. Depending on how many you've scanned and accumulated. But, yeah, as you can see, we just got 1,590 nanites just for talking to that little chump. So, worthwhile. Swing on by. There's another guy over here. Sometimes he'll ask for, like, gold nuggets, sometimes gravitino balls. He's not really worthwhile. The items that you give him usually only net you, like, 3 to 8 nanites. But if you're early on in your game and you're unlocking milestones, talk to him, pretty much like the guy we just chatted with. We've unlocked all the milestones, so we no longer get the bonus for that, but for you have new milestones. Definitely swing on by and chat him up. He sells upgrades, but they're not really of the best quality, so I wouldn't really seek him out for them, as we can see. It's basically just C's and B's. You can get better off the space stations. This guy's your culinary guy. I can't really explain much about him. I don't really talk to him. But if you get around to working with your food nutrient processor, craft up some new recipes, swing him on by. I think he might give you nanites for those too. And couldn't do it, not even with double auto switches and a power inverter rerouted to the other doors with the same switch. Well, that sucks. Did you seek out that content creator I was telling you about? Like I said, fire him a comment with what you're trying to do. If there's a way to do it, he would probably be the one that would understand. I'm sure he'd be helpful. To set you on your way. Because it could involve like using the glitch processes too, in order to make it happen. Like I said, I haven't really done anything too crazy beyond just like the tutorial for the building, like setting up the scientist, the exocraft guy, the farmer, and all that kind of shit. Once I was done with that, I haven't really looked at it. I knew I wanted to find like a planet that's gonna like, that I want to like settle down and like really can spend time building a decent base at. Alright. Probably within the week I'll get around to starting a project in that regard. Actually, before we head down there, I want to stop by the freighter. These are all frigates, so evidently they're back from their missions. For some reason, comments are popping up on my screen, but they're not showing up in the comments on YouTube, so let me back out of the video, reload that. I didn't get to see everything that you wrote. Sounds like you had a little bit of luck with it, though. Here you go. Not yet, but will shortly. But I managed to make one door delay prior to the other's opening, but not enough, and can't get the others to do the same. Yeah, like I said, I'm thinking it's probably going to involve using, like, the glitch method. Because I think to do it regularly, it's like one will stall, but, like, the rest are going to go, like, at the same time as the stalled one. But if, like, you kind of, like, glitched it out, it would, like, delay it per each door. But again, like, I'm just theorizing. I don't know for a certainty. I mean, it may very well not even be possible. But I'd like to think with the amount of things that you can do in the game, that shouldn't be too difficult to pull off. Alright, so 2 out of 3 came back. Let's see what we got. Fleet Command online. And units. Geodesite. More units. More units. Even more units. 500 magnetized ferrite. 7 Viking daggers. 500 indium. Units. Magnetized ferrite. No, can't glitch to delay the door. Still reacts as though they just... Ah, alright, so yeah. I'm trying to, like, theorize a different method that might actually work. I was thinking maybe something to do with, like, the type of power that you put into them. But even if you use solar mirrors, like, they're all going to activate at the same time, so that wouldn't really do anything. But I think the best that you'd be able to do is, like, set them up like kind of like automatic doors at like a grocery store, where like when you walk by it, it opens up. You could just like walk by and set them up. But that's not what you're looking for, so I don't think that's gonna scratch the itch, so to speak. We got some units. We got a psychonic egg. That'll be good for a living ship when and if we get around to getting one of those. 480 activated emerald. We got 2 psionic eggs. Holy shit, that's a first. 5 antimatter. That's nothing worthwhile. Units, grantine, units. Storage augmentation. Fuck yeah. 3 cryo pumps. That's pretty decent. 222 nanites. And a rare treasure. Hell yeah. That was worthwhile. We got a bunch of good shit for that. That treasure's probably gonna fetch over a mill. Oh yeah, it's in the freighter. Alright, so what we can do is send out the other 2 missions for the day. Chat with this lovely gentleman right here. Alright, what is this? Industrial and trade. Let's go with the trade first. Alright, so we want to try to have a little bit of a balance on the front end. So he's pretty well statted. He's good for industrial. Pretty well equipped. Let's go to our others. Alright, we're still waiting on our other living vessel to come back. I'm going to send him out. And definitely want to send you. Alright, so it's not that you necessarily have to have a balance. Pretty much the highlighted one is the one that you're going to want to have high up. But as long as your fleet rating is more increased than your difficulty rating, you really don't have anything to worry about. Now, normally, with the amount of time that this mission would go for, I would utilize our fuel oxidizers. Throw 3 of those in and knock the time down by 30%. But I'm fine on waiting for this one. I'll probably just finish it off when I reload back in tomorrow. So otherwise, one other thing that you could put in is the mind control devices to increase the yield on units that you're going to get from it. So gives you plus 10 trading per each one. I'm just going to throw one in. Don't really care about the units. And then we got this bad boy right here. This is an industrial. And all of them are S classes, so we don't have to worry about getting upgraded. Throw them in. There we go. Alright, next order of business. We got some upgrade modules, right? Wow, we gotta clear this stuff out. Oh, goddamn, yeah, that thing's almost worth 1.5 mil. Alright, so that's going in the exosuit. This is gonna go with this pile. Viking daggers. Alright, bear with me while I get my inventory nice and neat. Grantine, I'm gonna just sell. We already got 3 full stacks of that. But yeah, anything you get from your frigate missions are gonna go into your freighter inventory here. So if you don't see them in your exosuit, that would be why. Don't have any of these. That's strange. Alright, whatevers. Oh, we have a full stack of those. No big deal. Hang on a second, I'll read that. In a moment. That's going in the stash ship. This can go into mold storage. That's starting to get low. We might have to go and hit that up in a second. Alright, so let me finish up with those. Almost there, ladies and gentlemen. Almost there. These are the things that just nag at my soul if I don't deal with them once I've seen them. But these, what we just cracked into, are going to be upgrades for our living ship when we do eventually get around to getting one. I think early on I'll probably utilize these ones just to get it filled up, but we've been lucky. We got 2 S-class upgrades. But I really don't understand any of these. I'm sure one is probably weaponry, one's probably hyperdrive, so on and so forth. But once we get one and we start fitting it out, we'll get a better understanding. But that's how I've been coming across those. If you have a living frigate and you send them out on an expedition, they'll usually produce you 1 or 2, depending on the length of the mission, the type of the mission. So on and so forth. Let's check in with our settlers. Ah, shit, we got a citizen dispute. Looks like we gotta go to the Chateau real quick. There you go. Again, as we ported up the stat, we are now at a A-class settlement. I don't think it's going to be possible for us to get to an S-class until we start increasing the citizen count. But from what I've heard, there's really no big difference between an S-class and an A-class settlement, so I'm not really too keen on busting my ass to make that a reality. I think the only difference maker is the amount of items that it produces for you. And it's not really that huge of a leap between the two. Let's see who's fighting and over what. Settle this nonsense. The sublight amplifier on planetary drone Till Starship has failed catastrophically. They accuse Assistant Salih of sabotage. It is noted that there are significant gaps in the settlement recording systems during which no one can account for the whereabouts of the accused. Alright, well, you're fucked. So we lose 6,490 settlement debt. What are you cheering for? I just find your ass. That's ridiculous. Alright. So again, as we see, we get 19 comet droplets and 192 kelp sac. So again, if we were to go from an A to an S class, I'm sure we'd probably just move this up to like a little over 200, and this might move up to like maybe 22. So really not a huge thing to worry about. But yep, our happiness has grown exponentially. I think yesterday or the day before we were chilling under 50%. Productivity basically been hovering at 902. Yeah, we're doing all right here. The Chateau's moving along. But I don't believe we're going to be building any more buildings. We haven't gotten the option to do that since. But as we can see, we have got quite a bit going on here. Nice nifty little water tower over here. That seems pretty clutch for a desert land. Something about like ice water in hell. Alright, so that takes care of that. Let's warp on back to the blade. And alright. Might have to screenshot the chat. That would probably be a good choice. I'm not going to be able to remember all those glyphs. So let me do that real quick. There you go. Save that for posterity. Reminded me of Captain Kirk when he was doing that docu-series. Yeah, I've gotten that a few times. People tell me I should do like, not infomercials, but like something in like that kind of vein. And I used to work at a little coffee shop that's local to the area, Dunkin' Donuts. I used to do all sorts of random voices on the drive-thru headset. Somebody's like, you should really work in radio. And I'm like, do you have any ends? Because I don't know anybody, otherwise I wouldn't be working here. But it's always been suggested, like, do like voiceovers and that kind of stuff. It's kind of like anything with like artistry and stuff. Like, everybody else sees it, I don't. It's like, I hate the sound of my voice. Comes off kind of like monotone and bland. But yeah, I used to do all sorts of like different like voice characters and stuff. I used to do a good Kermit the Frog. I'm not going to try and do it now. I'll probably blast all your eardrums. It's an idea. Hey, our enchiladas are done. Sweet. That might mean our solarium is done too. I want to say it's been long enough for those to be ready. I'm not going to go through all these crops. We'll be here forever. just wanted to get these so they can reset the clock. All the other stuff we've pretty much got like 3 stacks of, so it's not like we desperately need them. Those aren't near full. Let's do. Actually, these glitched the last time we were here. I want to see if they actually wound up producing. Looks like the first 2 had a bunch in them, the rest were at 0. Whatevers. It is what it is. Alright, one more thing to grab while we're here. Sweet, they are done. These things take like 16 hours or something. Not sure off the top of my head. I know they take the longest out of all of them. So I like to get them as soon as they pop up. That way I don't have to wait as long for the next batch. All the other ones are pretty much 4 hours, except for the Mordite. I think that's 6. Yeah, we don't really need the nip buds. Let me get down to the transporter. And take a look. Actually, I think we've been going for a while. I might take a little bit of a break, too. First. There we go. We almost got 2 full stacks of that. Oh, now we got 2 full stacks of those. Let's see what the comment was. Why don't you grab a copy of David Attenborough's docu-one that isn't scripted and talk over it like he would? See what you think, then post on YouTube to test view count for it. Yeah, that's a suggestion. I mean, that's one of my biggest problems. I don't advertise the channel at all. It's basically whoever just stumbles upon it if they feel like subscribing. Like I don't even like recommend her. It's like, hey, subscribe to the channel. I mean, if people do, and I get notification, I'll usually give a shout out. But very, very, very infrequently do I ever like subscribe to the channel or any of that kind of stuff. I just do this for fun. I'm not really looking to get YouTube famous or huge or anything. Certainly not looking to make money off of it. Even if I got to a point where I could monetize it, like I would never take super chats or any of that kind of shit. AdSense is a whole different thing because it's coming from corporations. But yeah, I just do it because I'm sitting there playing games, and I figure instead of just talking to myself, if I can provide a laugh or two, maybe some helpful knowledge to others that might be playing the games, then hey, at least I'm contributing something. I feel like I'm doing something a little bit more than just sitting around wasting time on the couch. But that's just me. I'm not adverse to things taking off or anything, but again, like I said, I'm not trying to advertise or make it a reality. If it happens, it happens. I mean, I'm appreciative for anybody that subscribes, comes on by, interacts, yourself included. But I don't know, I've always been, I don't want to say difficult, but like, case in point, an example, I used to work at a place called Panera Bread, and for like your name tags, you could draw your own. So I'm a little artistically inclined. I started doing them for a lot of the other coworkers and stuff, and one of our regular customers, like, sorry, he's like, why aren't you charging them for your work? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, because I do it for fun. He's like, well, you're a fool. And I'm like, I'm a fool because I enjoy something? Like, friggin', if I started charging people for it, like, I would feel wrong about it. And, like, that same kind of feeling is what, like, carries over to why, like, I don't try to advertise the channel. Again, like, I would never be like, oh, super chat or dono or anything like that. No, because it's not that I view that as being wrong, it just doesn't work for me. Like, I don't want to add obligation upon, like, people that are just, you know, like, dude, view it, and if you enjoy it, then that's my compensation. But, like, I could see where others would be like, dude, you should be making money out of it. Like, well, that's cool for you. Start your own channel and do it the way you want to. But, like, my therapist has, like, done the same thing, too. Like, friggin', like, you should be building your channel. You should be, like, advertising it. You should be doing this. And it's like, I should be doing what makes me comfortable. And, like, that doesn't make me comfortable. Because, again, if, like, that became, like, the focus of the channel, that would take the fun away from it for me. And, like, again, that's why I'm doing it. Because I enjoy and I have fun doing it the way that I'm doing it. But it is what it is. I don't judge anybody that does it differently. It's just, this is what works for me. I reckon you do great doing that as a daily with a weekly special. People love nature and everything's true, you know. I mean, I could do, I mean, that would require a fucking laptop and some better equipment if I was to venture into that. Just for, like, editing and stuff like that. But, what do they call it? I guess kind of like reviews. You know, I could, like, do, like, different commentary over other, like, videos such as that. No, I mean, there's a multitude of different things that you could do on here. I mean, the sky's the friggin' limit. It's just a matter of, like, creativity and coming up with different ideas. Well, that's the thing. You don't need to slap your face on it. What you could do is just have the camera focus straight on the guitar. You basically just be a hand model. Because again, you don't necessarily need to have your face on the screen to provide the information. Basically just need a voice and the visual of the guitar, fretboard and stuff like that. And that's the other thing, like, a buddy of mine, I don't know if he still watches or if he's been too busy or not, but him and his girlfriend, like, I know him personally, we used to hang out, moved out of state. They, what do you call it, got me a webcam. Unfortunately, it wasn't compatible with the, with Sony. Gee, what a surprise. They're pretty stingy, they want you to use their own products. But, yeah, it never materialized. But I mean, I'm not averse to, like, having myself in the corner or anything like that. Like, but it's just, it's not like, it's not a requirement or a necessity to me. But I know that that's definitely holding the channel up a little bit. Because if my face was on it, it would attract more people to watch. But again, it's one of those things. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, so be it, you know. But one of these days, maybe. Can't rule it out. But let's see what we're looking at. We need to get back to this mission. Settlers. Gonna be a while before we get prompted for that. We don't really need to do anything more farm-wise. Alright, so what are we looking at time-wise? It is just about 2 o'clock. Guessing it's probably going to be another half an hour before we get prompted to go back to the settlement. And aside from that last frigate mission, I don't think we're going to have much activity over here. I think it's time to take a little bit of a break. let things get back up and running so we got some stuff to do. But I also need to make some lunch. I'm starving. And coffee is low, so we could always use another one of those. But I'm going to estimate we'll probably be back at 2 o'clock now, probably around 3, give or take. So if y'all are around, if not, appreciate you stopping by for this one. But that's probably going to be the schedule. I think we'll take an hour off, come on back, get back to the mission at hand, and maybe check in on the settlement. Other than that, likely go look for some more sentient ships. And I can't think of anything beyond that. Maybe a swing by the mold farm. Who knows? We'll see. But, right, well, I'm going to check a few vids out. There you go. Alrighty. Well, hey, hopefully, like I said, either between that content creator or anybody that you come across, maybe somebody can provide something to help you along the way. Get that project of yours done. I would like to think there's got to be a solution to that. There's got to be a possible way to make that a reality. But as far as me, I got no idea. I don't even, like, I'm giving you my theories, and I doubt any of them are viable. But somebody out there's got to know something. So hopefully get to the bottom of it. But yeah, you go do that. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. And this is the portion of the broadcast where we say, for all y'all in attendance, for all those that came on by and gave us a watch, and for anybody that will be making to the sound of my voice in the future, thank y'all for watching. As always, we appreciate and value your viewership and support of the channel, and hopefully we'll catch you all in the next one. But with that stated, this is Slammy signing off, and until next time, peace.